Hey, 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 hey. He's just old and she's just still a puppy. So she's all wanting to play and he's not. How about you, Hank? I got to thinking, there's some preventative maintenance things when you do your maintenance things. And so I wanted to go over a couple of those things with you today, show you what I do, kind of just to keep, everybody should be doing preventative maintenance on their tractors. I'm going to show you some stuff that kind of goes above and beyond. Maybe some things you haven't thought of, or at least some things you need to do like once a quarter, maybe twice a year. It just keeps your equipment and your tractor running a lot longer. Things don't fall off, things like that. So let me show you what I do. I'll explain them and then we'll go from there. Hope you get something out of it. We all know how important greasing your tractor is, right? So I don't know why they give you a shoulder strap right there. You're going to see that in a video about 2 years from now. That strap's going to still be right in that same spot. But there's some things you do before you grease your tractor, and some things how you grease your tractor that could help when you are greasing your tractor. That's a mouthful. Now this product right here is called a Lubrimatic. I think I picked it up at Rural King, somewhere around in there. I think that's where I got it, was Rural King. But it's a plunger, right? So you use this to unclog your clogged up zerk fittings. You can take any type of multi-purpose cleaner, degreaser, whatever. Make sure you're, oops. Whatever you got, put down in there. You take your plunger, you fill this tube up, then you take your plunger and you squeeze you tap it with a hammer, and that will unclog your grease zerk. All right, that the pressure from that cleaning solution going into your grease zerk will actually unclog it, make it work good. So if you have a clogged up grease zerk, this is a pretty neat little how you doing to have. It works good. So if you're doing preventative maintenance and you realize that you need to do some preventative maintenance on the maintenance of your tractor, get you one of these. You can pick them up. I got mine at Rural King. I'm sure Menards or Tractor Supply or something like that has them. I'm sure there's several different makes and models of them. Anyway, it just clogs up, helps you unclog your grease fittings. I keep mine with my grease gun, and there's something else on my grease gun that I have that helps me with my greasing, and that's my locking lube. Now there's all kind of different makes and models and different brands out there. I have a locking lube. I've used it for, man, probably 5 years now, something like that, and it is fantastic. There's only a couple of zerk fittings that I cannot reach, and it's like in between. I'll show it to you here in a sec, but it's like where my quick connect is. A couple on my skid steer I can't reach with my locking lube, but with an attachment on it. It's where my quick attach is, but once I take the attachment off the quick attach plate, then this fits just fine. But what do you use this, and again, they have some that screw on and twist on. I just happen to have a locking lube. I think anything is better than the, whatever standard is. And while we're talking about greasing, if you notice, I keep this long, skinny screwdriver in my grease gun. Having a battery-operated grease gun is the way to go, by the way. And what I do is and I don't do this every time, but you should, or I guess. But what I do is I actually clean up the zerk before I shoot the grease in it. So once you have your grease zerk ready to shoot some grease in it, I take this skinny screwdriver and a shop rag, and I just go around the actual zerk itself, and that just kind of cleans up. And I don't do this every time. I try to grease my tractor every time I use it, but I do this every now and again, maybe every 4th or 5th time, something like that. That's just kind of keeping it help. I'm trying to prevent the grease zerk from getting clogged, if that makes sense. So once you do that, now you have a clean grease zerk. Now the grease will go into that zerk really, really clear, really, really easy. All right, but let me show you something else that I do every now and again, maybe twice a year. I come into my pile of sockets and ratchets, and I break out my 7mm. And why do you have a 7mm, Hank? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. It's because I come in here and I just go ahead and I just tighten down, or just make sure that all the grease zerks are just snug, right? They're not going to be, mine are 7mm, so you just need to snug them down. And I do that, like I say, twice a year, 3 times a year, something like that. And that's just going to prevent your stuff from falling out. You can see I haven't done this in a while, maybe 2 months, 3 months. So get those zerks, get those things tightened down, because the more you grease it, the more potential you have to get them loose. And I don't, like I say, I grease mine all the time, so that's probably why they're super loose. That one may not fit. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to come back with a deep well on those two down there. Don't let me forget, okay, guys? What y'all doing? What you doing? Look out, she's all puppy. Look at her. What you doing, Pepper? Huh? What you doing, girl? She's a good puppy, though. Just snug them up. You know, that's all you got to do. Don't get all crazy with them, because if you over tighten them, I don't know what that would mean, but this is just good preventative maintenance type stuff here. Uh-oh, I just broke that off. Dadgummit. All right, if you break them off, that's not a good thing. Let me go back and I'll show you how to fix that. I'm finished tightening this down here. Try not to break another one. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by trying to clean this up as best I can. Get my latex gloves on. Clean this up, because we're going to take this out here in a sec. Get all the dirt and grime off of it. Then we're actually going to take this off. I've got some grease zerks in my toolbox. I'll have to replace it with. Hopefully it's not too hard to get out of there. Shouldn't be. Maybe y'all can see that. I'm going to take this top off here. 9/16. Probably a socket. Let me go get a 9/16 socket. Oh, good okay. Take that off there. This bolt just comes off. Put the bolt nut back on it so you don't lose it. Place it on the tire so you don't forget about it. Now this pin should just come out. Let's see if I can set y'all somewhere. This magnet camera mount's pretty awesome. Now this should just come out, hopefully. And get a little persuasion on the back side of it. There you go. Alright. So now this is what we're going to repair. Take it over here. I'll clean it up a little bit. Try not to make such a big mess. And first of all, I'm gonna try to see if I can get an extractor down in there and clean it up that way. Let's try that first. Or get it out that way, not clean it up. I found my extractor set here. It's just I got a little 3-piece Craftsman, and I'm gonna stick it down there and just try to back. Oh look, well there you go. I mean, these things are so loose. I didn't even need to get a drill. You see how easy that was? Man, you talk about living right. Holy cow. Let me see if I can get that. There's a little bit of it right there. But Tractor Supply, my buddy Brandel was telling me that Tractor Supply makes a kit that you can use. But man, did I get lucky or did I get lucky? That thing is just, look at that. Voila! But you can stick like an Allen wrench or some type of Phillips screwdriver or something in there. But there you go. That's what was left in the grease pin. The pin is what I'm trying to say. Think, Hank. Use words. So now we just replace it. So wow, did I get lucky or did I get lucky? My goodness gracious. Seriously, that was pretty awesome. Put my extractor kit back up. Didn't even need that, did I? And now let me get I bought a box of these performance tool, like 70-piece fitting. I think I got them at my local auto parts store, Cloud Autos up there. Maybe I've got one that will fit. Let's see. I just got to try to get it down in there and see if it will work. Feels like it. Feels like it's going to work. Can y'all believe how easy that was? Nothing ever goes that easy for me. Let's see here. It says 6mm. Does that mean that it's a 6mm head on it? Let's see. No. Maybe it's an 8. Oh no, it's even going to be a 7. Right on. So I can still use the same socket on them. That's a plus. How neat is that? So this ain't going to be much of a repair at all, but let's just stick that thing down in there and see if we can get it started. How about that? Tighten her down. Don't over tighten it. And now that's ready to go back in. Wow. Unbelievable. Thank you, Lord. Okay, let's put the pin back in, tighten her back up, and grease it up. But there's something else too I want to show you. Making sure your grease zerks are tight. And then there's something else I want to show you too. And it has something to do with lithium grease. So let me set you guys on here. How's that? Can you guys see that? This dirt, definitely don't want to put dirt back in there. They get dirty enough. You don't need to help them. Gotta line that hole up. It's just a little off. Man, try to actuate it somehow. Alright, I did some finagling and it worked. I got the pin put back in. What I did was I took the joystick and relieved some of the pressure. That turned the forks a little and that made that go a little bit more. Alright, let's put that bolt back in. Good time to check this bolt. Doesn't look worn. Threads look good. So the bolt's still good. So no problem there. Probably just ruined all the threads in it. Don't worry about that though. They'll make more. Get her tightened down. Almost like it was meant to be. All right. Just check that zerk one more time. Nice and snug. Get the grease off my finger so my camera don't get filthy. Buy some shop rags. Make a mental note. Okay, let's get the grease gun. All my front grease zerks are tight. Now I need to grease the new one. And I need to check the bottom two. Y'all almost let me forget to check those bottom two. Why'd y'all do that? Put my old grease gun on there with my lock and lube. There you go. It's all that nice fresh grease in there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cool. Let's check these bottom ones now. They must have been 8mm. They were either 7 or 8, but they were deep well. Okay, so they must be 8. That don't make no sense, does it? Why would they do that? So let's put an 8mm on there. Yeah. These down here at the bottom, try not to tighten these too tight. Get on it first. Alright, pretty snug. Those are 8mm down here at the bottom. You know, because they can't make it simple. Those are pretty snug. So 7mm, 8mm on the quick attach plate down here at the bottom. So that's how you do, like I say, clean off your zerk before you put grease in them. Do that a few times. You know, if you want to do it every time, that's fine. You're not going to hurt nothing for sure by doing that. But I do it every now and again. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And then I'll check them 2 or 3 times a year, you know, with the socket, and then I'll repair them as needed. But there's something else I do as well. Let me show you what else I do. I take white lithium grease, and I'm gonna crawl under the tractor here. Well, not first, but I take white lithium grease and I grease any spring that I have. And again, I do this once, twice, 3 times a year, something like that, just to keep it somewhat lubricated. There's a spot down here at the bottom though that's really especially it's a hydrostatic, so I'm not sure if shuttle shifts and all that have it, but you can see that white grease residue left over from where I've sprayed it the first time. I just keep these things lubricated. Anytime I see like a spring or something that doesn't have a grease fitting, because I just think that's important. Again, once, twice, 3 times a year. Let's see, I don't think I do anything back here as far as white lithium grease. Maybe, yeah, definitely wouldn't hurt to throw something on that. But I don't think I've ever done this linkage before, but hey, why not, right? It ain't like I'm gonna make it too slick. But definitely do that spring on that other side, and then my quick attach stuff. Something else I want to show you that I do once, so you don't have to do it again. Let's see, did I do it on the other side? Yeah, I did it on the other side. Check this out. 7/8, 7/8, 3/4, and that must be 7/8 as well. But I put the socket size on there for when, oh, here's a 15/16. So I put the socket size on there. Of course, we talked about paint stripes often on the channel, but I also put the size of the socket that goes on there so that, you know, when you're climbing around, you're fixing to start your maintenance on your tractor and stuff, you don't want to be fumbling around trying to figure out what size wrenches to get or anything like that. So that's why I marked them with a paint marker, and now I don't have to worry about it because I know what size I need. Know. But anyway, those are some helpful hints. Hope so. Because it's you know, maintenance is the most important thing you can do on your tractor and stuff. Super important to keep it running in good tip-top shape for a long time. Grease, man, don't take nothing to come out here and grease your tractor. And now I know that all my zerks are tight. I know that I've got a brand new zerk on the other side. I know that they all take grease. They're all clean. I know my springs are lubricated. So just think about that kind of stuff when you're going. What other things do you do when you're doing like preventative maintenance on your maintenance items? Because I just think the more you can do, the better. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll go out there and I'll tighten all my nuts and bolts on my implements as well. So not only on my tractor, and I noticed that my tiller, where my 3-point hitch hooks onto my tiller, that bracket is a little loose. So I need to get out there and make a note to fix that. But I need to also go put my dogs up because I have no idea where my dogs went. So let me go find my dogs. Let me put them up. Leave comments about what you guys do to do some preventative maintenance. And watch this video right here. It's pretty awesome.